So I hear this often that people will say, my pastor used me to preach. Some people will even report to me. I remember a woman telling me that, my friend was going through something, and then in the church today, the pastor was, it just remained that the pastor should just mention her name like this. Pam. Now, as a pastor, let me tell you that number one, yes, we intentionally, in some cases, craft our messages because of you. We do it to save you, not to criticize you. And trust me, it is only you that know that you have that issue. No other person in that place knows. There are certain things that can't be said to people one on one. Unless you are a pastor, you may not understand. There are some depth of truth that can only be expressed in group from the altar, and that is how we feel you can get the message and either adjust or improve. So for instance, we have groups. So on the group we had a discussion this morning, this very day. This discussion, I've been discussing it with one of the members of the group, one of my daughters, one on one for some time, and then I couldn't just tell her the whole truth because she's not going to take it well. Now this is an open group where people can contribute, and then she can get to hear from other people. So when I saw a subject going on online that related with that issue, I was happy to bring it up and allow people to say their mind. I was also able to say some things I wouldn't have said to her in private, and she got it better. Jesus, many instances in the Bible, will intentionally preach a message, say a word that either talked directly to his disciples or to the Pharisees or to one of them, like Judas Iscariot. Many times, Jesus spoke directly about him. The problem is that where you're supposed to take corrections when you take offense, where you're supposed to be improved when you take offense, is not for your good. Now, I'm trying to put myself in the person's shoe. I may not like it. At times I may like it because there are many of my children that come to appreciate me and say, thank you for that message, even though that message that they knew was something that they are going through, that I brought into the message, or something I've mentioned or discussed that I brought into the message, and it was far more helpful. I've got positive compliments, maybe with the way I presented it, and I've seen people who, even though the message is not talking about them, I was not intentionally directed towards them. And that's another thing. I said, number one, yes, we intentionally bring up words just because of you. There are instances that we don't even have you in mind. We're not even thinking about you. It's just as led. It's just what we think is right to be taught. And then you just craft it and say it is you. Well, when I was on campus, one of my friendship president then, he said, he thinks it's better he does not even counsel people, because people are complaining that he's preaching about them and that he's just doing his own thing innocently. Now, number three, we are not talking about you, but we're talking about that issue. What many don't know, and this is usually the reason most of the times, I intentionally started with yes, that we're intentionally talking about you so that you can feel the heat, but indeed, most of the time, it's about the issue. See, you are not the only one going through that issue. When I hear your story, believe me, there are 3 other stories in my ears at that same time. I'm not joking. And I feel if I have 2-3 people in my audience, in my congregation, who are facing the same issue, there are many others. Then I preach it. I talk about it. I make research about it. I try to learn more about it. I try to pray about it. And I come to discuss it. At times it could be somebody's prayer point. Like 2 people tell you want that they are trusting God for husband or child. And I decided to craft that day sermon on how to get miracle baby. It could be issue, it could be anything. We are doctors. And many times we handle things as if we're handling patients. Like, this thing is paravalent, this thing is common, and then we address it. So, and at times it's just coincidental. I hope you believe what I'm saying. All in all, learn to see good, take corrections. Don't take offense where you ought to take corrections. Lastly, I know some people can overdo things. Some pastors can be uncouth. Is it uncouth or caught? Yeah, uncouth. They can be excessive. They can be abusive and insulting. But I can't even trust you members to be the judge of when a pastor is overdoing a thing and when it's just sincere trying to help you. I can't let you be the judge because we are at times very emotional. If I were you, I would just pick the lessons. I just pick the lessons, and then some things has to be corrected harshly from the pulpit. Yes. Oh my God. Let's just not take offenses where we are supposed to take lessons. Thank you.